Hello, it's great to be back here on In Conversation with Zoe. Whew! Again, I'm introducing another segment now. If you have followed me through my career, which is broadcast journalism, now switching into branding, concepts development, and advertising, then you would know that politics has been my base. But in any case, I'd like to introduce you to a new segment, which is political reviews. And being that I am currently in the UK for some reasons, yes, work and a bit of educational reason to it, I will be reviewing, kind of predicting the polls or getting your views in. I want this to be as interactive as possible because it's going to affect you as a Nigerian. It's going to affect you as, a West African nation if you're watching me from anywhere in West Africa. And it's going to affect the whole world, let's be honest. It's the same way, with the UK and the United States, most of their policies, elections, and political higgy-haggers, they affect us all because they are world powers. So we kind of have to be involved. So I'm going to make this as casual as possible and present to you 3 of the policies and manifestos of Boris Johnson, the current Prime Minister, and the Labour candidate Jeremy Corbyn. Okay, so they both launched their campaigns, their bids, and their party's 2019 general election manifestos was it last week or last 2 weeks? Now I'm not sure, but anyways, whilst they launched it, the press has been going crazy about who they're voting for and who they're not going to be voting for, and celebrities going on this camp and other celebrities and political figures, going on the other camp. But let's quickly look at what the problems are and what perhaps their strengths will be. Now we know the Prime Minister is projecting or selling to us 50,000 nurses. He's pledging 50,000 nurses, and that has created a stare. So I'm just going to show you the paper that I'm reviewing today, and you can find it. It was yesterday's paper, Thursday, November 28th, 2019, and it's the Metro. So it reads here that his Prime Minister's 50,000 more nurses pledge is creating a stare. But because how true is it? Because in another paper, still the Metro, but today's paper, which is Friday, Labour Party is accusing the current Prime Minister of selling out the NHS to the American companies, pharmaceutical companies, basically. And we all know the huge impact that will be. What he means is he's going to open the doors to more American companies to sell their drugs and their, whatever medical equipment and stuff to the UK, instead of trying to promote more internal growth and encourage more internal pharmaceutical companies, make it more internal based for whatever, just like Jews do, which is a great thing, which we all try to follow through, where the money kind of stays in a circular motion. It's a family business, it comes back, the profits, revenue, turnovers, and everything, which is what America does most of the time. And that's why they use the GNI and not the GDP. Well, anyways, I'm just rambling. Let me go through the policies. So for the Conservatives, their main message is to get Brexit done. They want to unleash Britain's potential, as a standalone power. Wow, for the Labour Party, they are gunning for a real change. They're like, we've tried Boris, the go-getter, the one who doesn't care about anything. He just smashes everything along his way, just like Donald Trump, a mini version of Donald Trump. And they're saying, their slogan, it's time for real change. Well, let's look deeper into those 2 strong points of these 2 parties that are going head to head. So there are several outlines for how the parties will be perceived, but this is what I'm trying to get to. If my computer will go, okay, great, it's done. So for the Conservatives, they are saying that they will deliver Brexit, and they are pegging a time. They put a time to it, and their timeline is the 31st of January. Well, we know how many timelines have been fixed by, the past, how many prime ministers we've had in how many years just for Brexit alone. Well, they've come and gone, and we're now pushing it January 31st. Well, their second, high up there agenda for the UK is to hire 20,000 more police officers over the next 3 years. Now, I have 1,000 things to say about the security, and with the whole knife attacks raging and continually pushing through. There's so much to say about it, but I'm just going to leave it for another political review segment. I'm just pointing out their 5 key manifestos or agenda. And thirdly, the Conservatives want to dedicate £34 billion additional funding a year to the NHS and hire 50,000 extra nurses. It sounds amazing, but is it possible? I mean, what has he been doing for the past how many months since he came in? Let's ask ourselves that question. And number 4, they want to keep the triple lock on the state's pension. Pension is a big deal all over the world. It's not just there in America, in Nigeria, in Germany, everywhere, Croatia, Spain. It's a huge deal that, it's like a snowball. It's just all over the world. And the 5th one I will be touching on today is they are pledging a £13.8 billion rise in spending across all the departments by 2021. Okay. I'm just going to leave it there and move over to what? Well, anyways, let me just make a quick comment. It's not surprising because Boris Johnson's key promises is to ensure that the UK is no longer a member of the European Union. Clearly, it started off as a joke and a rumor, and now Brexit is almost really happening. Well, for the Labour, it's like, after Brexit, what next? What will you do? If Brexit doesn't happen, what will you do? Those are the arguments for and against it. That's a strong point for those who believe in Brexit and want Brexit. But then what else, man? Tell us something else. For Labour, the Labour Party, they plan to tax the richest people and companies and, depending on their scale, to fund more public services. So the likes of Jeff Bezos, those big up there companies and people would be taxed more because they earn more. I mean, for the average and the not so average, below average, depending on the chain of supply and living that we're working with, it does sound like a great idea because, some of them don't even care about CSR anymore. They're just making so much money and doing everything themselves. So they might as well be taxed. It sounds yummy, but is it feasible? I know America, they tried that. How well is it working for them? Okay. Number 2, they plan to increase health budget by an average of 4.3% a year. Health budget, which will, obviously come from the taxing of the rich people. Okay, good connection, but questions to be asked. Number 3, the Labour Party plans to get Brexit sorted out in 6 months. Now, I'm going to touch upon this because it sounds more realistic, because putting Brexit at the 31st of January, they might just go through another voting process again, go through another shutting down of the parliament. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on and on until the record, cracks or packs up or something. Anyways, they're still hanging on to Brexit, since Brexit is what maybe 88% of British people want. Well, so some poll says. Number 4, they want to nationalize a number of key industries, including the National Grid and the Royal Mail. Nationalize. Isn't the Royal Mail nationalized already? Maybe I don't get that part in total, but share with me your thoughts and your comments if you have a better understanding of these key points. It'd be good to know. And number 5, they want to introduce a £10 an hour minimum wage for all workers. That part I agree, whether internationals or locals, I think that's a great idea. £8 what? that's not the greatest we can do, is it? Like, I think they can do better. This is the UK, for heaven's sake. Let me just quickly let you know something. So, goodness me. So the minimum wage for the United Kingdom is, well, per month is 1,524. But if you break that to a day, you can get, you know, how you want to break it down. And that's why most companies pay from £70 an hour to 820. Let me put it at 820. So that's what, you know, people get paid. That's the minimum wage, and the truth is not good enough. How much do you buy? Let me do a quick promotion for McDonald's. I'm just saying, how much do you buy a McDonald's burger? You get it for £2 something, and then you have to have a drink. How much is a meal? I remember having this debate on air in Nigeria about our minimum wage, which is crazy. Per month or per day, if you were to do it per month, you can't even feed your family. You can't feed yourself, not talk of feed your family, right? Things have to be better. I mean, like, anyways, I'm just gonna cut it short here because these are the top 5 agendas for the two parties going head to head in this election, which is happening next month. Have you registered to vote? They say about 1.8 million people have not registered. So if you have the right to vote, please kindly register and check these to-dos on their manifestos and find out who's telling the truth. Like like the priest said on Sunday, we need to find out who's telling the truth and who's lying. Because if you've been given an opportunity to fix something and you did not fix it, then you're reselling the same idea. You're recycling the same idea. What gives us the impression that you're going to do any better? Like, maybe we should give someone else the opportunity for some months or 6 months to see what they can do. And if they cannot do, we go back to the polls again or something, you know? Anyways, that's it. I'm just introducing this segment because I think it's very important. And next up, I will be talking about Donald Trump's race to 2020 and who his most viable candidate to run against him would be from the Democratic Party. Okay, and the whole impeachment proceedings. There was a huge roar yesterday during his campaign rally. You know, when he was like, "It is trash." The whole impeachment thing. Like, look away from it. Well, okay, Donald. Okay. Anyways, but there's so much similarities between Donald Trump and Mr. Boris Johnson. I will cut it there. See you in my next video. Bye bye. Have a lovely day.